Beside still waters, beside still waters.
Hi folks, welcome to a dreich and wet Sydney summer. I'm here with my brolly. I'm undercover in this bit. You can see the mist and the rain behind. Hoping to be at the cricket today. It's not going to be. It looks like it's going to be rained off for most of the day. I'm here in North Sydney, and I'm here for a reason. I was actually meeting somebody, and I had my pod and camera with me, and I just thought, do you know this? This is maybe a good place for me to talk about today's memory aspect of meditating with Isaiah. So far we've got this. Come to the waters. Come all you who are thirsty to the waters. I'm doing this from memory, so hopefully I get it right. And you who have no money, come buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without cost. And yesterday we looked at this marvelous idea, this question, why spend money on what is not bread? And then today, what you've got to memorize is this, and your labor on what does not satisfy. Now, for some reason, I associate umbrellas with going to work in a posh place like the city. I associate wearing a jacket and so on. So behind me here, you can see that is the Sydney CBD. There's a church there, but that's the Sydney CBD. I'm in North Sydney CBD, and North Sydney CBD is the third largest CBD, central business district, in Australia. It's bigger than all the other cities apart from Melbourne. Now, I'm not sure exactly how many. Hundreds of thousands of people work there, and hundreds of thousands of people come through the railway station, which is on my right here. I'm just on my way home, and you see people every day coming and coming to work. Now, of course, COVID has changed some of that, but one of the most important things about work is that it's something that satisfies us. Now, my father gave me a very important lesson many years ago. When the oil rig yard was being built at Nig in the Scottish Highlands, I said to him, Dad, why don't you go and work at the oil rig yard? My mates are going from school, and at 16, 17, they're getting jobs that pay 3-4 times what you get paid. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, we could do that. We'd get a house in town, we'd be a lot better off. But he said, I do want to give you a bit of advice, and it's just simply this. If you can, do work that you enjoy. Not everyone has that opportunity. But we could have more money and I'd be miserable in my job. I think that's a really important lesson for us to learn. I think, why spend your labor on what does not satisfy? I think God has given us the ability to work, and I think if we can work at things that satisfy us, that is enormously important. Do you know the part in Chariots of Fire where Eric Liddell's sister is trying to ask him, you've got to go to China as a missionary. He says, I am going to go, but I have to run, and I'm not putting my running before God. And he said, you know, God has made me fast, and I feel his pleasure when I run.
I've decided. I'm going back to China. The missionary service have accepted me.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
But I've got a lot of running to do first. Jenny, you've got to understand. I believe that God made me for a purpose. For China. But he also made me fast. And when I run, I feel his pleasure. To give it up would be to hold him in contempt. You were right. It's not just fun. To win is to honour him. Jenny.
Well, there are some things that I do that I feel God's pleasure, and I feel that if you're at work, do you feel God's pleasure in what you're doing? So let me put this another way. this verse is not really talking about physical work. That's a principle that illustrates things. But why labor for what does not satisfy? There are some people who labor in terms of religion and it really does not satisfy. It just doesn't. And for me, the satisfaction that we get from Christ, so we drink from the well, if you like, we feast at the table, we labor, we serve the Lord because it's something that satisfies. And in terms of our worship of God, it has to be something that satisfies. He says, why labor? Why are you doing all this religious stuff and it doesn't satisfy? So there's a big question there for us. All right, on this wet and dreich day, I'm going to love you and leave you. I think of all these people at work. I hope that their work is satisfying to them. But most of all, I pray that those of us who seek the Lord will know the satisfaction of finding Him and enjoying Him and being with Him. So God bless you. That's our first week over. We've memorized the first 1.5 verses of Isaiah 55. Join us again on Monday as we continue to look at verse 2. Why spend? Great question, isn't it? Why spend money on what is not bread and your labor on what does not satisfy? God bless you. Somebody asked, the music you hear is from Maureen MacLeod. I'll put more details on where you can get some more of her stuff as well. I think it's extraordinarily beautiful, but see you then. Bye.
Beside still waters, beside still waters, beside still